In order for your equipment to operate at its best possible performance level and safety, it needs to be maintained regularly. You need to keep the blade sharp, the chain, keep a spare spark plug around. These two-stroke engines tend to foul them once in a while. Keep this air filter clean, and you'll never have any trouble with it. It'll not let you down. These are good saws. They last for many, many years with just a little bit of love. So just check it over frequently. Make sure that the bar is tight. You know, there's some bolts right there where you can use it to take the chain off and so on. Make sure the chain isn't slack. That's a little bit tight actually, but that's good. It'll stretch. And keep the teeth sharpened up properly, and you'll have no trouble. You know, these are not for the people who haven't had any experience or any training. These things, I mean, look at this chain. Look at the teeth on this thing. I don't know if you can see that very well on the camera, but they're just chisels. You can imagine if this thing is spinning around at, 1,000 RPM, something to have extreme caution with these things. So let's go see if we can remove a tree before we have any more trouble. And this isn't something you should do either, but that's at almost 90, 93, maybe 94 degrees. Yeah. Oh yeah, 4, easy 94. And it's got to be around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it was hot earlier. That's a roaster of a day, and it's been like this all week. All week. Which is beautiful, a beautiful sky and clear weather, no rain. I've got a lot done, but I'm not used to heat up here. Okay, so we're going to have a look at this tree here. It's right beside the cabin, and I'm holding the camera as level vertically as I can, and as you can see, that tree has a significant lean to the left in the screen there. It's also relatively close to the cabin. The tree's tall enough that if the wind blew it and it fell that way, it would very definitely flatten the cabin pretty good. Now if you look at it, go 90 degrees and look at it this way, it's actually quite nicely vertical, but because of this evergreen over on this side here, you can notice that this side is where the bigger and heavier branches are because they got the sunlight. So the tendency of the tree is going to be to come this direction because of its lean, and it's going to want to go from left to right as we're looking at the screen. And it's a big tree. It's about 16 inches, 14 inches, 16 inches in the base, and I don't know, must be 60 feet tall. So making sure that it doesn't go anywhere near the cabin, the tendency will be it's going to come towards me and to the right, which is the direction the cabin is. So I'm going to cut it so that it falls. I'm really going to exaggerate the direction so that it's going to come actually right over the garden here. Basically I'm going to aim it to come right down the middle of the garden. Yeah, you see that, look at that. If you look at it from this angle, there's definitely a strong lean towards the cabin again. Damn, that's not good. Yeah, see, there is. That thing is so rotten. So as you can see, the whole base of the tree actually is completely hollow down in there, as you can probably see. And it was been chainsawed off, so there was another part of it that came off to the side here. And somebody cut that off, who knows when, long ago. But it's just a real rotten mess. And there's no way that that's going to stand very much longer. And it's a big tree. It's got a lot of weight behind it, so when it comes down, it's going to really come down with a crash. So I definitely have to make sure I direct where that crash ends up. Don't lean on it, Timber. You might knock it over now. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to direct it absolutely as far away from the building as I can. I wanted to lay it down right straight down here over the hill, but the heck with that. It's too risky. So I'm going to do whatever I can to make this thing fall as far away from, sort of through the edge of the spruce tree as I can. What's going to happen, almost certainly, normally I would make a nice notched cut here, and cut about halfway through approximately, and then slightly higher on this side I would make a cut in, and that would allow it to fold into that notch you cut out, and it would direct the fall of the tree. Excuse me. But because of how rotten this is, I'm pretty sure that that's not going to happen. I imagine as soon as I start the notch over on this side, it's just going to destabilize whatever's left of that rotten tree so badly that it's just going to crush down, break apart, and fall over. So this is just a bad tree. This has got Widowmaker written all over it, this thing. But we had a bad thunderstorm yesterday and it broke trees out in the bush. You could hear them crack and fall. And I can hear the thunder rumbling again. We're having another storm shortly. It's getting quite dark. And I don't want this thing to fall down uncontrolled. Well, any more than it has to, at least. So we're going to have to give this a try because it's so close to the cabin. You know, more than half of it would hit the cabin roof. Well, in about 2 or 3 minutes it took me to get the chainsaw out and check the gas. And I was just going to fire it up and the rain beat me to it. I knew it was coming. I didn't hope it was coming this quick, but alright, because this is so, look at that, that's just, good Lord. Okay, because this is so unstable, I don't know that I'm going to get notches on this side, like I said. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with little notches, because I don't want it to bind up the bar on my saw if the thing starts to go quicker than I expect, which it probably will. So I'm going to take a little notch out, and if that works, I'll take a little bigger one out. All that really does is give me some room in the chainsaw to get it out of the way, I guess. Let's give it a shot. Well, let's cross our fingers, folks, see what we can do. I'm going to trim just a little bit of that evergreen around to give me a little bit of working room. I'm going to try to work from the left, but on the far side there, which means I got to take that one limb off that's touching the tree. There's no running room in there, so I'm going to have to get this thing right. Holy moly. Well, that couldn't have gone any better if I tried. Woo, baby. And I'll tell you, that worked out just perfect. Look at the rod in this stump. Look at that. That's just, that thing is just rotten, and it's all the way up inside. The whole core of that tree is just all rot. But it sure went down nice. Right, well, I didn't quite miss my garden, but pretty close. Pretty close. I was hoping to put it right between the garden and the outhouse there, but I'll take it. I'll take it, no problem. Whew. It does seem to have, well, not really too bad. It bent up my chives a little bit, but nothing much. Not half bad at all. Whew. Did I happen to mention it? It's very humid out. Holy man, it's humid and sawdusty. Anyway, that's it for that deal right now. Here with the chainsaw, just knock the limbs off of this thing so I can start to clean it up in a bit. I'm going to wait till this afternoon or whenever when it's cooler. But something I wanted you to see, now I've cut these off, as you can tell, and at the other end. The reason I did that is because this branch sheared off on the way down, and look at this. Look at that. You can see the wet mark. From here, that's over 20 inches. My hands span almost 10 inches, 9.5. So that's almost 20 inches down into a clay soil. That's just not just the crushing danger, but that's what these things do when they hit the ground. Especially these poplars, they're brittle. They're kind of shitty trees, and holy cow. That's brutal. Oh yeah. Come on, baby. You gotta go. Oh, you gotta go. Okay. I want to thank you for joining me while we took down this tree. Something that isn't anything that you should fool with. These things are dangerous. If you don't have a great deal of experience with cutting down trees, I've seen time and again people on different videos where the tree has gone the wrong way, landed on their own house and things. Chainsaws themselves are incredibly dangerous. So it's certainly not encouraging anybody to give this a try. Hope you enjoyed it. Got some interest from it. I'm going to sit here and finish my coffee, and I hope it's not going to rain anymore, but I think it is. Everybody have a great, safe week. We'll see you all down the trail. No. Oh, being silly. You're being silly. Okay, I get the point. Okay.